I want to talk about why I'm not switching to the newest Affinity V3 just yet, and why I am happily staying with my iPad version V2. In case you've missed it, we had a big update at the end of October, and Serif, the maker of Affinity, made all their software applications for free. Perhaps this is your sign to learn Affinity today. So let's start with the obvious. I am not switching to Affinity V3 just yet because right now they only have the desktop version. And if you have been following me for a while, then you know that I really love and prefer creating on the iPad. It's going to take a pretty long time before they release the iPad version. I don't have the exact dates yet, but I heard this and that, and it's not going to be next month or even the beginning of next year, which is, as I'm recording this video, 2026. So since it's going to take a long time, it's a no-brainer for me that I have to stay with the current version, and I will do that happily. My entire workflow lives on the iPad, so switching to desktop V3 right now would only disrupt my process, I think. For those of you who are watching this video and don't know me yet, I'm a children's book illustrator and also a surface pattern designer, and I predominantly use Affinity Designer for my work. So for example, here you have a tiny sneak peek into my interface. I have folders that are meant for entire books in Affinity Designer, and because I'm a busy mom, I really do prefer working on the iPad because otherwise it would be very hard for me to find the time to do this work. So I used pretty much 98% of the time Affinity Designer for all my professional work in publishing. And this has helped me, for example, to illustrate books such as this project that I was a part of with a few other illustrators. This book is for slightly older kids, and it's super cool. It's about cool science jobs for inspiration for kids. So for example, here we have an illustration of a genetic engineer. And now, to prove it that I created everything in Affinity Designer on the iPad, let me find this file in my iPad interface. Ta-da! The same illustration on the iPad. Pretty much most of it is vector-based, also using some raster-based textures. So this is one example of something that I illustrated in the iPad V2 version, which I think is pretty cool. And this is another book for smaller kids that I also illustrated in the V2 iPad version of Affinity Designer. It's a search and find book for very, very small kids. You can probably see that the format is very big, and this is one of the questions that I'm getting from people who consider switching to the iPad. They ask me if it's a problem that you have such big formats for illustration, if they kind of prevent you or cause any problems when illustrating for bigger formats. But I illustrated for this entire book on the iPad, and it was no problem at all. But let's go back to the topic of this video, why I'm not switching to V3 yet. As I was showing you my work, you could probably see that Affinity Designer V2 for the iPad is absolutely sufficient. I personally think that it's sufficient for any illustration work, vector or raster. And I think it's also great for pattern design. It's my go-to tool actually for creating repeat patterns. And I also do some graphic design, so it's like an all-rounder, and it's absolutely powerful and sufficient in my eyes. Nothing about V2 is holding me back creatively. Even though my work is predominantly vector-based for many reasons, I start to explore more and more pixel-based elements in my illustrations. So Affinity Designer is very cool because you can combine both vector elements with raster elements in one software. You just switch between the vector persona and the pixel persona. And there's still so much to explore in this software. The learning curve is quite steep because I truly believe there's a lot that you can learn in this software, for example, compared with Procreate. Procreate I find much simpler. And since there's so much to explore, I'm still good with the V2 version because I don't think I exhausted all its potential. And I even made a whole new course on working with texture in Affinity Designer for pattern designers, where I'm exploring different types of texture in pattern design, including self-made vector-based textures, pixel-based elements from the pixel persona on a vector base, as well as something that is really unique to Affinity Designer, vector brushes. This week I also uploaded a free sample lesson from my newest course to show you how I like using those self-made texture-like vector assets. So you can go ahead and check it out. And in case you would like to purchase the entire course, I have a welcome discount. When you go to my Gumroad shop, you can use the code FluffyClouds when checking out and you will get a 15% discount code. Now, another reason to still try out, even if you're completely new to Affinity, the iPad version V2, is that whatever you will learn now will most likely be transferable to when you want to switch next year to version 3. So whatever you learn, I don't think they will rediscover everything, like all the tools, they will be repeated from V2 to V3. On top of that, if you're completely new to the iPad interface or you would like to give the iPad a chance, I have a completely free playlist here on YouTube where you can get a fast introduction to the iPad interface of the V2 version. Now, my last reason why I'm still not switching to V3 is maybe a pretty obvious one, but I left it at the end or for the end, is that the apps are completely for free. You have a choice. Now you can explore the older versions, even though I still feel very strange calling them old because I don't consider them old at all. You can download the iPad apps for free. Remember that there's not just Affinity Designer, there's also Affinity Photo and Affinity Publisher to put your publishing projects together, which I've done, for example, for my Amazon coloring books. And it's a big sort of liberation that you are not tied to any subscription. And I don't think there will be any subscription model in the future. I know that in my previous video about the big update, many of you were skeptical, but I have my reasons to believe that it's going to stay the way it is. And in the worst case scenario, like really the worst case scenario, that's the same that happened to the very first version of Affinity Designer V1. There are still people out there who have the V1. They never really upgraded to V2. And this software will never be taken away from you. It will be on your iPad or on your desktop, and no one has access to it. So your files are local. They're not synced to any cloud. They're not shared with Serif. Everything that you're working on is yours, and also the software that you downloaded is yours. So in the worst case scenario, you can stick to V2 forever, and you still don't need any subscription. And as I saw, as you could see, the work that I showed you, the books that I was able to publish, they were all created with Affinity Designer. So it's just like this basic proof, basic evidence that you can still use this software for free forever for professional work and also get paid for this work. I think that many people who suspect that something bad will happen or something will change, my advice is to focus on the work. Like, don't focus on conspiracy theories, what might happen. Take the tool, use it, do some work, get some clients, see if this software is of course good for you and for your professional work. Be proactive and just use it and enjoy it. So perhaps the next question is, will I be switching to V3 for the iPad when it comes out next year? And the answer is probably yes, because like I said, most of the skills are transferable. I think there will be some additions, like maybe the image trace for illustrators and pattern designers. There will be some extras, but as far as you can have a look at the desktop new Affinity Studio interface, it's all the same. So you will not be rediscovering this software. The tools will stay the same, and even the interface will be similar, if not the same again. So everything will be transferable. And on top of that, you probably know that I create courses and tutorials. And I had the same dilemma when there was V1 versus V2, and for a very long time when I was creating my courses, it was a bit of a pain. I felt that I have to give options in one course to both V1 and V2 users, so that was a bit of a pain. But right now I've built such a huge library of courses for the version 2 that I think I'm good and my students are good. Like, they can learn the essentials of using Affinity Designer for their illustration work or pattern design work. And when V3 is there, I will most certainly switch, just to stay up to date for my courses, so that I'm not risking in the future that anything gets outdated and I'm missing out on the new features. And also remember that, unfortunately, since V2 is kind of discontinued with the introduction of the V3, it will not be getting any updates. Having said that, as it is, it's still perfectly fine for me. Maybe I have low expectations, but the thing is, I can produce great professional work for my clients, and I think that's why I do it, right? I don't do it, it's not just my hobby, it's for my work, and that's that. So how about you guys? Are there any iPad users here? Are you still considering to stay with the V2? Is there something that you're missing and that you're hoping for that will be introduced in the V3? So I would love to know more what you think. So I'll take a look later on at the comments section if you left any comments there. Now, if you want to grow your Affinity skills with me, hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!